Okay, and hello everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. Hold up, let me make sure. Okay, today we are live streaming Overwatch League Day 2 watch along stream. So come tune in with me and we will watch this together.
League playoffs start right now.
Yeah man, Overwatch.
Of the 2022 playoffs starts right here, right now. My name is Jaws, joined by Rose. Is about to get into a whole new day of action.
It's going to be such an exciting one, especially after yesterday. There were so
Hello.
many big upsets. Maybe a little bit more 3
There we go.
Overwatch than we would have liked to see, but I think we're going to continue with the hot-paced action here today with the matches we have ahead.
Oh yeah, some teams haven't played yet, Rose, which is
Yeah.
a crazy thing. I can't wait to get in. Of course, the teams that end up at the highest seed will end up playing their first matches. And well, that first match, the Dallas Fuel versus the Hangzhou Spark. First seed versus the 12th seed. Quite literal, like, people use this in casting all the time, the David versus Goliath thing. Like,
yeah.
that has been said so many times that I don't have enough hands to count. I won't have enough hands no matter how many universes exist. But it is quite literally the case right here. Dallas Fuel coming in as number 1, and number 12, the Hangzhou Spark, who ended up 3-0ing
Okay.
yesterday against the Dragons, which boomed.
Okay guys, we will make predictions.
I know.
Predictions.
And I think what's also really surprising about Hangzhou Spark coming into
So
this
basically,
tournament,
this
what
is
they did is not only the Titan they took down in Shanghai.
This is basically a league, an Overwatch league, the International Overwatch League.
Was not great for them. They went
Why, bro? What have we done?
I mean, it's
Aye.
crazy because there was a point in time as well, even last year with the Hangzhou Spark, where they went undefeated in one of the qualifiers for the tournaments, got into the tournament and just got knocked out. Like, it's
Yeah.
insane.
Okay,
They
so
have
let's see.
massive
Hold up.
spurts of energy and
Okay, so you're
potential,
saying
and then
that
sometimes they fall flat.
all
But, like, coming
teams
into the playoffs, I don't think
winning.
people kind of expected them to do well.
It's
especially
basically
with,
playoffs.
some of the Titans that we saw yesterday. Like, now going against the Dallas Fuel, this feels like a different kind of beast.
It really does. I mean, Dallas Fuel, people have been talking about the scrim bucks that have been happening, just even preparing for this tournament, and
Yeah.
Dallas Fuel might have really earned themselves the #1 seed coming into this tournament
Oh,
and this patch.
Okay,
Yeah, this
if we
patch
when we
is
see the
pretty
first teams
wild.
that are going to
That was
play, we will
Kiriko, but I think it's about
we'll
time
get you guys to
jump
make the
into game,
first
or at least get the
prediction.
teams
Oh.
on the stage. Chat, please put your hands together for the Hangzhou Spark.
who do we have first? The Hangzhou
I can hear the claps from the
Hangzhou Spark.
Yeah.
Hangzhou Spark taken to the stage right now, and it's well, it's been said yesterday, Rose, but I'll mention it again. Like, it's so nice to have these players playing on a stage
Wow.
right next to each other, and teams obviously we don't normally see play against each other either. Like the Spark taking on the Dallas Fuel for one of the first times this season.
Yeah, it's a really nice to get that cross-region representation,
Okay.
but also you should have heard the cheering when Hangzhou Spark won their match yesterday. The staff were going wild, the rest of the players. It was really neat to be able to hear that experience happening in their practice room.
And
This is
let's
our
see
starting
what
lineup here
will
for
the next
Spark.
team be.
We've got Shy, Alpha, Gushui, Super Rich, and Teru, who were the same 5 that started yesterday.
Yeah, no real
Are you sure?
surprise there. Actually dominated their game, a 3-0 like with the rest of the games we saw yesterday. Let's bring on their opponent. Please welcome to the stage.
Who is their
the
opponent?
Dallas Fuel.
The Dallas Fuel.
What more can you say
Wow.
about this team? Really rose coming in as #1 seed. Have some of the best players on their roles.
They were
Speaking of
prank
which, I
together.
think we better
They're
address,
gonna be
I
good.
guess, the small
You don't
in
know.
the room being fearless starting today over Hanbin, but not really too surprising when we're seeing what the meta is currently bringing us. Fearless, known for his Winston play.
There we go.
Hanbin taking a little
The
step
post
back
is
right now. Like you
posted.
were saying, Rose, you know, Scrimbucks Express, they're looking pretty fire for the Fuel.
Who
Yeah,
will-
I know the desk talked
who would
about
win?
the stats a little bit for the Winston matchup, but Fearless is still one of the best Winstons in the league.
Honestly,
Second in
the
hero
team
damage
I
per
want to
10.
win
Look at 72
the playoffs
and then
is
also in terms of
the
eliminations, 17.7 per
the team I
10
want to win
Fearless
is
versus
the
15.4
London
for Gushui.
Spitfire.
I mean, two
So
Goliaths on the Winston pick. There's a
they're
reason why
playing last today,
rival
so we
play
can't stream
like
that,
Gooshway's ability
but
to primal rage people is insane. And it's
I
insane
will
to
be
see
watching that
the
game.
Hangzhou Spark up here too, right? Like I mentioned, 12th seed. Faith in one's own destiny.
We'll
Can
do one
really
or
be a
two
powerful
games
thing,
today.
right? Can they actually topple
We'll
the
watch
Dallas
one or
Fuel
two
today?
games today.
They are very much the underdogs coming into the game right now. And you got to think about this too.
Wow.
Dallas Fuel, this is their first match. The
Let
Spark
us
already
see
played.
who will
So you
win.
best believe the Dallas Fuel were watching those VODs.
Oh yeah, they were definitely sitting there and preparing for
Who
this
will
matchup,
win this?
and I think one of the things that they will
I
have
wonder.
identified that they might be able to capitalize on is the risk that their Kiriko player takes. I mean, when you look at how Teru performed yesterday, taking some pretty risky positions, but getting away with
Why
it.
they always
because
play
he was
Li Jiang
able to walk
first?
away with a pick or two, and then
I don't
be
get
able
why
to
they always
message
play
the
Li
team. I
Jiang
mean, he
first.
was
There's no
the
point.
leader, in fact, in damage per 10, so it was at 4160, and I know we don't have a huge sample size for this yet, but that still bodes really well for the type of damage he might be able to pressure Dallas Fuel with.
Can that playstyle be punished though? That's
Absolutely.
the big thing too, right? I mean, Kiriko, of course, having the swift step, could dart back. To
So
the
Black
lane,
Knight, who are you
very
voting?
aggressive flank routes, but you have to be guaranteeing damage too. And I like the point that Scott brought up on the
Who are
Dallas
you
Fuel
voting
game,
to win?
well, yesterday, was her damage output very much relies on those headshots. Like, if you're doing body shot damage, it's only 40. That's like not that much at all. Like,
Well,
you have to be consistently getting headshots in those picks, which we saw a lot from, to be fair, from areas.
I mean, he's got a 20% critical hit accuracy, which is
That's pretty good.
the highest right now. So they say it's pretty good.
Lijiang Tower's our first map. Gonoka Command Center. A little classic.
I will say what's going to be really interesting about Dallas Fuel is who do we see on the Reaper? It looks like right now it's going to be Sparkle hovering over the Reaper, but when we saw the Hanbin Zarya, a lot of that Reaper role was being picked up by Edison. But the fact that you've got Reaper and Sojourn in a lot of these compositions, we're going to see that role being split up here as Edison looks to take the helm on the Sojourn and Sparkle the Reaper as the gates open.
Yeah, no big surprises there. Edison, of course, rather a crack shot. All right, see how Spark end up dealing with this. And of course, like you were mentioning, Rose, maybe the eyes should be on Teru right now and like how many angles he can kind of get off already, kind of sitting to the sidelines. But Shy already takes a headshot by Edison. Already the Dallas Fuel setting a nice little bit of tempo for himself. Gooshway and Shy dead. Point unlocks in a couple of seconds. That'll be the first cap you can imagine for the Fuel.
Yo, yesterday a lot of what we were seeing in order to start off these fights was what types of picks are these Sojourns able to get, and if you could charge
Dallas
them
are
really
pushing
quickly,
point right now.
you will
Dallas
be able to get a charge
have
shot.
captured the
And
first
especially when you're
point.
gonna hit your mark, yeah, Edison's gonna go ahead and walk away with 40% towards that overclock, and also a nice point capture here for Dallas. But it's about time we start seeing what these Reapers can do as well as they start getting into the front lines.
Both Monkey Bubbles already used there. Monkey Bubble's so important this meta, Rose. It blocks
Let
off,
us watch this
Kiriko's
intense
damage.
first
Of course,
fight.
Kiriko has a hard time actually chunking through the bubble, worth keeping in mind. It also blocks the Susan.
I mean,
so having a good bubble is going to be paramount in this
it's
meta.
not
And we're seeing a
that
lot of
bad.
instances use that
Neither
bubble
is
to be
that
able
bad.
To kind of weave in and out of it to make sure that they have that protection for when they need it. But yeah, I mean, Kiriko's definitely going to have a little bit to work out there, just being able to heal through that.
All right, Edison nearing that overclock. The Dallas Fuel almost got Kitsune Rush and the beads. The Spark, what have they got to really answer with? Shy's very far behind his own overclock. Dallas Fuel again, once again, making a move. There's the road, it has been paved forwards. And a whole lot of damage is on the other end. Gooshway
Dallas is currently dominating. Black Knight, I'm pretty sure you were wrong, bro.
And Edison didn't even use overclock there. 65%, the Dallas Fuel looking great.
Yeah, I mean, they used the Kitsune Rush to be able to win that team fight. Super Rich did not get that sound barrier online in time enough before we saw Gooshway isolated, but Shy with a big opening pick here to get Hangzhou Spark some space.
Okay, Spark at least have their Kitsune Rush. Let's see how Dallas Fuel end up responding. Speaking of which,
Oh.
Fearless came out of nowhere and just bonked.
Oh, the Dallas are coming back with the casino rush.
The Kitsune Rush, but the Spark used theirs a little bit
Kitsune,
later.
oh.
It was 85% of the board, and the Dallas Fuel
Are they gonna get? Oh, are they gonna get point? Are they still gonna be on point there?
Gooshway trying to make it look at
Ooh.
him. It's perfect success.
Well, what a great ult. That was a great ult.
Upbeat jumps to the back. Death Blossom kills too. Is the Dallas Fuel end up losing the point?
Fearless
Yeah,
is gone.
we are able to lose it at 97%. So what Dallas need to do right now are just come back into this one, see if they're able to get one or two picks. And we saw the Widowmaker for a brief second there from Sparkle, but he's decided against it.
Let's see,
not
bro.
gonna be able to get anything done with that Widow in terms of point presence, and also that Winston bubble going to be blocking many of your shots. But Dallas Fuel don't have a whole lot coming into this one where Shy can just shut down this push with that overclock.
Yeah, there's the overclock from Shy. He's hunting, seeking, and he's already found some damage. A nice body shot onto Fielder helps Gouchouet clean up that kill. This is a very quick team fight.
Oh.
Quick reset though, Edison doesn't want to hang around
Sparks are
for
doing
too
so
long.
good right now.
The Dallas
To be
Fuel.
honest.
Get team killed, but not the worst thing in the world. You end up
Team
Shy
kill
there.
for the
We
Spark?
have a lot coming back into
Wow.
this next one, but same with the Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, neither team really. I mean, the first ultimate we're going to see come online is going to be Fielder's Kitsune Rush. A lot of healing being pumped out from that player, which is going to help generate that charge just a little bit faster than doing that raw damage with the Kiriko. So look at that already. The poke damage, it's going to be online now.
Yep, there you go. Kitsune Rush launched out, and it's going to connect with the point. It's a lot of ability, hey. So Phyllis jumps forward, straight back into the rest of the team. And the point does get flipped. Dallas Fuel in control. Spark get the touch with Gouchouet. And he does end up backing up to the Mega Health pack there. And Shy opening the things up once again for the Spark. Alfie does end up going low. Pops the Wraith Form though. And the Spark now earn a Kitsune Rush of their own. The Dallas Fuel pushed all the way up, but they did manage to garner 99%. The Spark find the flip. And they do once again force out support ultimates. Very important in this meta.
Let us see the Sparks have currently got points,
They are, and now
and
we're
they
really
are
looking at all
winning.
of the rest of the ultimates coming online for both of these teams. So it is going to be a photo finish to see which team will come out on top for this very first round. Sound barriers, lots of sustain, and the primal rages too for both Winstons.
Alfie looking to try and set up something rather big. He goes pretty low though. Someone heal him. No, Spark ends up taking him down. He had to use the Wraith Form early on in that fight and couldn't escape. And he had an ultimate in his back pocket. The Dallas Fuel only used their primal and their beat to come back in. The Spark are left with 3 ultimates, but it doesn't matter. The Dallas Fuel ends up picking off Alfie when he had that ult. If he managed to save that Wraith Walk, maybe that would have been different, but it wasn't to be. Nice focus fire from the Fuel there, knowing their win condition, taking down the Reaper.
Wow.
And as soon as you take down the Reaper, well, Phyllis doesn't really have anything to fear.
I know, and I saw Teru using the Suzu, but it came out.
Oh,
just
Dallas
to
won the
be
first
able to
game.
save
Yes,
Reaper as
come on.
well. So that's really unfortunate that is how that went, but great focus fire there from the Dallas Fuel, and great ult tracking as well to know that that Death Blossom would be online after how fast Alpha Yi had generated that before.
All right, night or day market, whatever you want to call it. Next round, little TP there from the Spark. I prefer it when teams do that. Look how quickly you do get to the point, a little bit faster than the Dallas Fuel. Get the TP, then use your amp.
Yep.
So the Spark release taking a priority position around the point. And setting up your Sojourn, of course, very, very important here too. And I like these off angles from Teru. It's something that he was doing a whole lot yesterday and finding so much success. Already Shy opening things up once again with a rail. A perfect damage dealer for this meta is Shy. His proficiency on the Sojourn is just unreal. You saw the stats from earlier on in the season. And once again, picking off Edison. The dude just, he's a little nasty. Let's be real.
I think we're going to see a lot of railgun charge shots come through from both of the Sojourns. They're going to be getting picks left and right here, but Fielder with a nice pick on his Shy to remove that damage option from the board.
Yeah, you love to see it. Also, Gouchouet's bubble's already been used, so he can't...
Dallas got point once again on the second game. Wow.
Nice pick off by Fielder.
Dallas are doing so good right now.
Combat there. Teru and Fielder have been kind of like jostling for position in the mid, which has been quite an interesting dichotomy. Just a little 1v1 and teleporting back to the rest of the team. We'll see how the Dallas Fuel end up wanting to play this defense. They're letting him kind of come in first. Fearless then with a later jump in and a later bubble. Protection Suzu to help keep Alfie alive, but using the Wraith Form at the same time. The Spark don't really have a lot of defensive tools. Have to wait for those cooldowns to come back up and then make another re-engage.
And look at Edison's going to be taking the same positioning that we saw from Shy to be able to get those long-range shots.
It's a Kitsune rush from both teams now. Is Edison just
Wow.
off the backline? Little to no fear from Edison, and he, well, they used to beat on top of that, so he stays alive in the front line.
The Winston just doing no damage at all from the Sparks. That ult did no damage whatsoever, bro.
A lot less to kind of chunk down, and Sparkle makes it hurt. Gooseray received that overhelp, but he ended up going down anyway. An overclock being burned by Shy to try and end the fight in a wicked headshot on Fearless as he tries to leave, but they are still managing to stall out some additional percentage, almost 60% for the Fuel, as Spark find the second capture this
Wow.
round.
Oh,
Whoa.
the Sparks capturing again. But will it be for long? Will they capture for it for long?
Their control of the point right now.
Yeah, without those Sojourns being up, obviously quite hard to get a one-shot right, even if you're Reaper, very close to an enemy. So it's just more of a neutral here, just building up towards ultimates. Speaking of which, both Death Blossoms are available from Sparkle and Alfie as they make their push in. Alfie hiding around the corner. Nice awareness there from Sparkle to spot him out just in time. That could have been disastrous, but it was avoided.
We're going to see both Wraith blocks, though, used by both Reapers. So now you're waiting for that cooldown to come back online, so you can use it to get into a position to use the Death Blossom.
Kitsune Rush, like perfectly placed there by Terra right across the point. So in the advance from the Spark, they were able to use that pushing forward.
Sparks still captured the point. Wow. The Sparks now at their spawn, they're pushing them. Okay, back to their spawn.
Alright, the Dallas Fuel battling against 75+% now, and the Spark are taking high ground control away from
It looks like it might be the final fight here, too, for the Spark, if they're able to get in position to use this Death Blossom. And Super Rich going to have the sound barrier, too.
Well, here comes one of these attempted Primal Blades. Can't really do much, though, as the beat comes out from the Dallas Fuel. But it was fairly early, and they actually overlaid that.
Well, the Dallas... Oh, what a great ultimate that was. Wow, that was a very great use of the ultimate.
A couple of assists there, or, well, 5 of them. Basically for the Dallas Fuel, as they do end up reflipping. 94% though for the Spark, and they still have the sound barrier.
Yeah, I think what's really big here is that Spark basically forced out the Kitsune Rush, the Sound Bearer, and the Death Blossom. 3 very high-value ultimates here from Dallas Fuel to leave them with just the sustainability from Fearless's Primal Rage. But look at how Spark are trying to approach the point. They're playing in this small room where Fearless just might have a field day with this.
Wow, Chio and Sparkle tried to execute a 2-man mission there in the front line, and Chio just got chunked down, slow with the slow orb, and ended up dying. Fearless uses the Primal Rage to try and even the fight, but rather unsuccessfully. Shy's getting perma-pocketed right now, and with Dallas Fuel almost in OT territory, someone's going to have to touch. A sound barrier to end it all for the Spark, maybe tying the rounds up. Someone from the Fuel is testing, but they're losing members thick and fast. Edison's already dead, so a lot of their pushing power and damage potential is now lost. They do manage to get themselves back onto the point, and Sparkle Wraith forms away from that Death Blossom, but the Spark is still at full.
What will happen? Will the Sparks actually get the win? Will the Sparks get the second win?
Overtime ticks through. It can soon rush to try and end it all from Terror. He's flinging out the kunais, but he doesn't even need to hit him. The rest of his team are doing enough damage. Oh, the Suzu.
That Reaper is gone.
A nice kill.
Oh, there goes the Kitsune. The Kitsune is now gone. The Kitsune rush from the from the Dallas. No, but there's
And this should just be the round done, dusted. Well, Fearless is back in, but it's only him. Overtime with Disciplinary and a blade. The Spark, they're going to tie up control.
GG, they're tied up 1-1
Do have a
right now. Ooh.
Between these two teams, we're back going to a third and final round to settle.
Who would win?
But what's
Who
been
will
really
win? That is the
impressive
best
just
question
how
we have.
close these fights have really been. Kind of whether or not you're going to be able to convert your ultimates into value. Dallas, unfortunately, in one of those fights had to use 3 in order to win the fight. But I think that Hangzhou at this point in time have been getting more value from their Kitsune rushes. Shy too, I mean look at that, like you've got so much pocket there from the Suzu, the speed from Super
The aim.
So impressive.
Yeah, that 2-man push was a little questionable there, you got to say, from the Dallas Fuel, like saying Sparkle and Chio. Maybe they were trying to isolate Shy, but there's so much mobility, like you mentioned, on this comp. It's hard to pin someone down unless someone burns an ability. Oh, it is. Speaking of things burning, Edison's
of course, Black Knight.
falling over there. That is not a good start. And this is the crazy
Let's
thing
see.
The kunais from the kunais are
They both have 1 point. Let's see who will win.
If you're a crack shot,
Who
like
will
Terror's
win?
kind of proven to be, like you were mentioning before, 20% accuracy, like your health bar just disappears in a blink of an eye, and it's half for Helis to really recover. Dallas Fuel is still going to try and make something of this on the point, but Shy's just free-firing into them, gaining that the railgun charge. I mean, Alfie dies, yeah, but Chio's also dead. Just their small pickoffs from Teru has just worked out so well for the Spark. Edison does get a little bit of his own back there, dunking Shy in the gun, but the Dallas Fuel do end up losing all their lives and resetting. The Spark end up controlling the point first.
It's really impressive how Teru and Super Rich are basically juggling the healing and supportive duties between, do they want to try to go pocket Shy, or do they want to go in with Kushui, or even just go get some picks of their own, I guess. It's been really nice to see just how well-oiled this team has really been to be able to enable whoever's going to be going in and getting that big damage.
Oh, Kushui pops the Primal Rage to pay a little visit to Edison, who's quite on his own right now. Luckily though, Fielder does teleport to him and give him that Kitsune rush, but can they make anything of it? Sparkle is already dead, and Shy once again just sitting on an island on his own. Oh, the beat gets Ajaxed. Shio luckily gets it off in time as the Dallas Fuel tried to make a name for themselves on the point.
Dallas Fuel killed the soldier, and the soldier is down. Let's see, will they get to capture this point?
But these comps, not only being quick,
will they get to capture the point and win? Let's see.
I mean, you've got the Suzu, you have the Winston bubble, you have the life steal from the Reaper that makes Reaper very self-sufficient, and then also just the healing output of Kiriko and Lucio is pretty insane. So it can take a little while for sure, but these fights have been going relatively quickly, so while Dallas will get the flip here, Hongshou Spark are already back to come in for a recontest.
Alright, Edison's got a nice little sightline now, taking over that perch from Shy. Railgun, overclock available, double overclock. Bubble's gone down though, so we can't get a nice sightline, and look at that. The Hongshou Spark recognize this and end up just dashing forwards with that beat, but the health bars are just falling. Edison once again just kind of free firing. Somehow in the thick of things, the Spark do end up finding the flip, so a nice bit of percentage off there, but
wow.
with a double boop. Alright, that's what
and the Dallas got a team kill.
Whether they were trying to go for
wow.
a reset or if Chio just
I mean, you take that free ult charge any day of the week.
Absolutely, yeah. You get ult charge if you're able to land any type of damage before the enemy ends up going off of the map.
Well, what
so
happened?
Chio now already 80% towards another sound barrier, and when you're looking at trying to close out the map here, Dallas have the Death Blossom, they have the Kitsune Rush, and Chio should get that sound barrier online if things go a little awry here in this next fight.
Yeah, they're looking really good to maybe set this up for last fight too if they don't layer those support ultimates. Like I mentioned, they're so tough to take down. People have got a lot of life steal. Okay, Kitsune rushes are traded, and Sparkle looked like he wanted to go in. In fact, he's going to straight into the back line. Look how fast those shotguns are firing on all cylinders. Kushui did not stand a chance. And with the Dallas Fuel in control
wow,
right
the
now,
Dallas are almost, the Dallas have almost won this.
Fielder does end up falling, but has got a swift step to teleport to one of his teammates.
Black Knight's predictions might be wrong.
A little bit of a top up right now, so that'll be a really easy target to get back to. But Sparkle saved the Death Blossom, trying to look for an opening here.
Primary from Kushui could be rather big, but that Death Blossom is getting so much damage down. No immediate kills, but Phyllis and Chio are there to clean up. Alfie is dead, and the Hongshou Spark, history in this first map, it feels like. Kushui, if he gets a 5-man right there, I will eat a hat. Maybe a saucepan as well, I'm not sure. Overtime is ticking down, and it's really just staggered members at this point. I don't think there's any hope. There's no ultimates on the side of the
and the Dallas
point presence
have won.
Dallas Fuel starting off the series strong.
Wow.
2-1.
Really close fight though.
They have won the first map.
Maybe something you
it's 1-0 to Dallas. I'm hoping that the Dallas proceed.
But Hongshou Spark proved themselves
I don't want Hongshou Spark to win, bro.
So far between these two teams.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, faith in one's own destiny, really, like it can give you just this unbelievable buff, and that's what it felt like yesterday.
But we don't know. Maybe the Hongshou Spark can come back.
Their lineup right now seems so suited to this meta.
Because right now it's just 1-0.
On the Sojourn, like what more can you really ask for? A very close game so far. I mean, the Fuel are 1 seed and Spark are the 12th. Like, pretty crazy stuff. I want to see how they end up transitioning into these next maps. Of course, it is loser pick rows, so Spark will have their choice too. Will have their choice and hopefully go on something that's a little bit more beneficial for them. But will we see any change-ups? That's, I think, the big question on a lot of people's lips.
I guess we're going to have to wait and find out.
Yes. We're going to go jump to a quick break. That was a perfect transition. Nice.
I don't get why it's losers pick.
Coming up soon, it is...
it makes no sense. Wow. Bro. Reaper shouldn't have shot that. Bro.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
But bro, this is amazing. The Dallas have won one round so far. Let's see how far they will make it. Will they win, or will the Honju Spark come back and 2-1 them? Nobody knows. It's just a mystery. Oh, they're making their own teams. Oh, that's a good looking. There's the Zen. Hill Carl. See what is happening on Twitter. If you guys don't already know, we do have a Twitter. You can go follow. It's free for everyone. Shut up, guys. Just YouTube. And this Twitter.
You'll start the shout and the blade from Sparkle with it. Now that they're low target, Doma gets deflect on the arm.
Goes to the back ball, he takes the double shot. And SM with a 5K. That's what you want to see.
Shio demands shears. A triple for the Lucius.
This is getting unreal value right now. What is this?
But it's confident in one-man army on the front.
Lucifer Blue, third brightest.
Yeah, the Dallas Fuel burning pretty bright right now. 2-1. Only Zhangtala taking the first map of the series. Looking pretty close though. Rose, Shy, oh sorry, well, I guess Shy as well did have an answer for this question that we're all wondering. Where are we going? Well, we're going to Paris. So it was Spark's pick. No substitutions either. So Shy, Alfie, Gooshway, Super Rich, Teru, and Dallas Fuel, same Ross Edison, Sparkle, Phyllis, Fielder, and Gio.
I don't expect to see any substitutions from either of these teams right now, which is exciting because I've been really enjoying seeing some fearless Winston. I mean, we haven't really seen a whole lot of this player this season.
Let me see something, guys.
The meta that Dallas Fuel has been playing around has been predominantly the Zarya and the Junker Queen. But, you know, we saw maybe some sprinkles of fearless there in the Countdown Cup qualifiers, but there was a pretty big lap there where we didn't see him since mid-season madness.
Yeah. It was pretty mad. It was very strange coming in to this year, I think, and questioning where tanks would be, if main tank was going to be... I guess you,
what map?
You still call the main tank an off tank, right? With the, for example, Zarya and Zarya and Ryan.
But like, heroes themselves still have categories.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yes.
But like, it was kind of an interesting question. It's like, where are main tanks going to be? Where are off tanks going to be? And it just turned out that off tanks were kind of primarily played, of course. Dallas Fuel very comfortable on like the Zarya and the Reaper to start out the year, but now chop and changing, having Fearless coming in. And I think it was a big question mark of like when we kind of see Fearless, and we did see him in Sprinkles, but like it just didn't end up being successful at all. But this just happened to be in the playoffs, and now it's the perfect meta for him because he gets to play Winston, one of his best heroes.
Perfect meta, perfect patch, absolutely. And what a perfect map though for Spark, because you have all these nice buildings to play around, so I think we're going to see some really big verticality plays coming here from Fearless and Gooshway, just kind of using the rooftops to be able to popcorn down, jump back up, and also Primal Rage in between
Popcorn
the buildings.
down?
Popcorn down.
I never heard that phrase before.
Really?
That's good,
I feel like, yeah, like you know, pop, I don't know.
Yeah, you go down and then you're like the Colonel, and you go down and then you pop back up. Yeah, makes sense.
Exactly. But
Oh, I have
also
logged
a
in.
75% win rate on this map too, which might be another reason why they picked it. Not just to enable the meta right now, but also because they're pretty good at it.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty good at it. Who's really surprised? Absolutely nobody. Oh yeah, don't forget you still get your tickets, by the way. There's a little thing in the bottom left. Overwatch.com/2022/playoffs.
Yeah, come see us in person.
Alfie, come on. Give us a shot, Alfie. I've tried this many a time myself. I've not once found a pick yet. We've seen it a couple of times in the league, but yeah, not today. It's just Winston. Just peeking his head out. And he switches straight back to the Reaper.
Alright, we're going to see a little bit of a standoff here as we wait for cooldowns to come back online, but a quick rotate here from Dallas Fuel is going to give up quite a bit of position. It allows Gooshway to jump in, but a quick response there from Dallas. Wow. Where was Terry?
Video.
Edison messing with the best of them there. Teru ends up taking down Edison to start this one off, and Gio falls too. Looks like a very quick cap for the Spark. The Dallas Fuel, if they can stay alive, which looks rather unlikely because you don't have a Lucio here, maybe they find some space. Spark actually on the point right now. They're just trying to clean up so they know they can guarantee it. Sparkle ends up falling.
Wow, this sounds great.
Coming in, a slide away from Edison, so he won't be available in this fight. Shio playing the skybox on the buildings, so it's one tick for the Spark.
Okay, well, this was a question mark we had on our hands was where's Teru? And can Dallas Fuel actually punish these off angles that Teru is taking? Because he ended up wrapping around behind the Dallas Fuel, got a surprise pick, and when you're down a member like that in the game, it's really, really difficult to come back from unless you have ultimates that you can expend and you actually convert it into value.
Okay, let's see.
Really fast take here from the Spark. They're going to go ahead and get that cart rolling around into the streets phase where we see Dallas Fuel set up around these apartment buildings, just kind of watching all of those off angles.
Okay, Sparkle actually almost got one tap there. Teru again on a nice off angle with Alfie, can teleport to his tank if he needs to. As the Kitsune rushes, both roads paved on top of each other. Gooshway and Alfie end up going down though. A nice bubble from Fearless to stop any of that incoming damage. I spoke about it a little bit before in the pre-game. Those Winston bubbles are so important in this meta. Teru is still alive, but will teleport back. All good, all good. A trading of Kitsune.
Oh, this is it. Oh.
Well, Streets Phase 2, like these Winston bubbles are going to cover such a large area, so you can use it even just to be able to rotate into a building, and there's lots of different ways that Winston bubble can keep your team safe. you're going to see both of these teams try to focus down that bubble to provide a sight line for the Sojourn, especially when Shy and Edison have those overclocks online. You want the path to be clear.
Nice Suzu there from Fielder, keeping Edison in the game. Primer H popped by both Winstons. A bit of an old battery, of course, always kind of has been. Now Gouchouet will use that to take to the high ground. Lucky there's this sign here, otherwise you would be toast right now. Overclocks on both sides. It's just a trade of ultimates. Everybody's just hitting Q and no one's dying. Both beats out. There's the Death Blossom. Alfie just ducking back into the shop. Maybe forgot a little bit of sun.
Nah.
Dallasfield have no ultimates now, but neither do the Spark. So it was a trade of 5 ults, and yeah, nothing really happened apart from the payload moving just a couple of meters.
Which is just wild, because you would think that after using some ultimates, like maybe somebody gets a player advantage, but really nice survivability there, and you know, you can already see that in the ultimate charge there from both Karu and Fielder, getting really close to having those Kitsune rushes back online. They pumped out so much healing in those fights.
Just waiting for these Sojourns to try and find a headshot. You saw Alfie trying to dash in, or not dash in, sorry, teleport in. Right on top of Edison. Oh dear, Shy's on top of the board right now. He does end up falling, so both Sojourns dead. Pretty bad sign if you're the Hangzhou Spark right now. The payload, you're not really concerned about it moving too far back, because you can take a lot of free space, but yeah, losing Sojourn's not great. You are looking for Shy or Eddie to pick off someone at the very start of the fight. Now it's just positional control for both teams, waiting for their Sojourns to come back.
High ground control now over to Dallasfuel. The wraparound from the Spark is already on its way to be able to meet Dallasfuel on these high grounds. But Heroes can just kind of jump away from this, and that's what's really nice about playing on top of the roofs of these apartment buildings.
Nice Kitsune rush. They're actually just going to try and wrap around the Dallasfield right now. They've actually fallen to the low ground. Spark in a very good position. Already forcing Sparkle's Wraith Walk 2. Gouchouet popping the bubble on the side of the corner. Jumps back to the rest of his team. The payload is moving for free right now, Rose. Not until Fearless has got something to say about it. Use the jump straight with a bubble on top of the payload. Stops it from moving. Now using the Primal Rage. He's getting chunked down. Something fierce right now, but he is isolating one of the members from the Spark, but they end up taking him out. Shy was just forced backed up into a corner, but he had the support. Both emotionally and physically, it felt like his team were holding his hand, making sure he survived, and now it's time for Shy to pop off. Overclock used, and oh dear, Sparkle in the wrong neighborhood right there. 1 minute and 40 seconds for the Spark as they do move this payload in, but the Dallasfield are going to try and recontest it even without their Reaper. It comes out for both teams, so now the Dallasfield are a bit at odds with themselves, I think. Edison and Fearless making sure the payload is contested. It's only a couple of meters before it is put in, and now Chio isolated with a bubble. A perfect pick off by Gouchouet. And yep, this Kitsune rush, unfortunately, the road's getting paved over with Sparks by the looks of it. 1 minute and 13 seconds to go, but look at this. Actually, the Dallasfield, I spoke a little bit too soon. Sparkle just jumps into the fray and takes down 2.
Wow, okay, so Kitsune Rush gets used first, ensures that Sparkle is able to have a clear path to go in to use the Death Blossom, and just when it looked like Dallasfield, down a member, going in with a sound barrier, was trying to come back into this one and might not be able to get the job done and lose all of that ultimate investment, they do it. But they are starting to run out of time here, the Spark, to be able to push this payload over the line and capture this second point. Dallasfield already taking a more forward position to try to deny that space here from the Spark.
Edison, I'm looking at you, buddy. You got to come up with something big. Primal Rage coming up for Fearless, but this overclock could be crucial. He dashes all the way back. He's super low. That bubble from Gouchouet was almost so sick. A Suzu used on Edison to try and keep him alive through this overclock, but he can't shoot through that bubble. Has to take another angle. Teru teleports away, getting out the line of sight of Edison, and that overclock completely negated by the Spark's offense. There's the Death Blossom. The Reaper putting in work
I think
now
it
for the
changed
Spark as they clean up. No hope for a comeback here from the Fuel, but a lot of time burnt there, Rose. You're not too
we have that account
upset
at
about that if
existing
you're the Fuel.
account.
No, but I think you're really happy about how you played that last fight if you're the Spark, though, too. Not only did you buy yourself a little bit of extra time by capturing that second point, but you're also just really just showing how you can play around those Winston bubbles to have extra additional coverage. And Gouchouet, even though he was kind of in a bad position, was able to get out of there. And look at this, Shy's already starting off with a pick.
I mean, the dude is just cracked on the Sojourn. Edison's already dead, but, well, Dallasfield making it competitive. Look at how fast Sparkle's going. Oh, nice Kitsune rush there from Fielder. Regardless of losing your Sojourn there, you haven't got the one-pick potential, but the Kitsune rush makes up for that, and then some. My word. All right, 40 seconds to go. ZZ easy?
Oh.
Easy? Okay, alright then. Alright. Come on,
Okay.
Tara, show us what you got,
All
son.
right, come on then, Teru. Where you coming from? Where in the rafters is this Kiriko? All right, looking at last fight though, we've got less than 30 seconds remaining. Gushue has that primal rage online. Superch can go in with the sound barrier as well aggressively, but Gushue's gonna jump into the back here to try to dislodge these DPS
Oh my
players.
word, the juggle is good. Actually forces out the sound barrier there from the Dallas Fuel as Edison was going super low. He is so good with the primal rages. Fielder ends up falling, a lot less healing now, and Sparkle once again trying to even up the fight, but it doesn't work out this time around. You can't fool Spark a second time, as Gio and Phyllis do end up coming up with kills, but crucially an OT Spark win this fight.
Yeah, and now they're gonna be able to have a Kitsune rush online as well as Teru. Yes, gonna have.
Alright, I'll do
that
this
from
later.
Spawn.
Someone has to touch
Well,
it.
who's winning?
Stop. Oh my god, I almost lost it. Oh my.
No,
It felt like Alfie was on the point there, to be fair, hiding around that corner.
They just want to allow Dallas Fuel to come back in though to try to push.
Wow.
Yeah, alright, okay.
The Hangzhou has came back.
I almost went sicko mode there, not gonna lie. Alright, there's the Kitsune rush from the Spark, actually laid down across the point, straight to the last checkpoint. So they're gonna be able to utilize this. And the Dallas Fuel end up just taking the high ground, but they still have to deal with this payload. Someone's gonna have to drop. Edison pops the overclock and dashes straight in. Tries to go for a fadeaway kill, but it doesn't happen. The Hangzhou Spark come up rather large though with a Death Blossom on the point, killing Sparkle. There's still a man advantage for the Spark as Alfie.
There goes the
is
Dallas's
putting in the
Winston.
work. Dallas Fuel so close to their own
Wow,
Kitsune
and
rush,
the
but it doesn't
Dallas
end up
have
working
won.
out. The Spark end up capping third in OT.
Wow, what a great game coming out here.
3-0.
As well. I mean,
Wow.
just looking at the fact that the damage per 10 is at 7760 is pretty large. I mean, the next best, you're really looking at kind of like some of the Winstons or the Sojourns here. But I mean, just also Shy, Alpha Yi,
Yeah.
the damage lineup for the Spark here is.
I mean, who's really
So
surprised? Shy is
good.
doing a lot of damage. Like, he's got 3k more damage per 10 right now than Edison does on the Sojourn. Still just opening
How?
the fights off, killing Edison. Like, that's an unreal pick.
You're removing so
That's what I'm
much
saying.
damage off the board, especially when we've looked at Edison as one of the best Sojourn in the league. And removing that giant threat is making these fights way more manageable for the Spark. So they
Yeah.
really have identified one of the ways they can carve out an advantage for themselves. And they were able to capture all 3 points. Even when it looked tough, it looked really tough there for how good Dallas Fuel's defense was on beat.
That was a very good defense from
Definitely.
Dallas.
It reminds me a lot of Dorado in a way. Like, it's the last point is sometimes pretty tough to cap. Like the architecture too, there's like a little bit of the high ground, not as much as it is on Dorado, but can be quite a tough point to overcome. Or in Masolicu games, the toughest point is point A because no one knows how to rotate, which is the most frustrating thing in the world. These
Well,
games,
luckily
every
these
Overwatch
are
League
solo
team,
queues.
yeah, I know, right? Every
Solo
Overwatch
queue.
League team makes it look too easy. Oh, that was rather cheeky there.
It's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I mean, Teru got a little bit of charge there and a
take
little
that.
bit of healing, so
Take that.
yeah,
End
I'm
up
trying
Sue's
to
doing
leave
himself
that.
so it doesn't get insta blown up.
Exactly.
Nice.
I think it's fine to try to take risks like that, and that's what we mean by Teru is a risky Kiriko. He's found in places you wouldn't necessarily find your healer, just kind of tanking some of that damage, utilizing the aspects of her kit a bit more freely, but it works out. And even though Edison's got a pick here, I'm waiting to see what Spark do to respond to this.
Gushue super low though. They might just be able to finish him off. Yeah, Fearless dives straight after him. His healers were on the low ground. No hope really. And the thing with being an aggressive Kiriko though, Rose, because everybody's so mobile, if you need to use that swift step and you've used it for yourself, like aggressively, putting Teru in a position where he can do damage, you can't follow your Winston or your Lucio like someone that's trying to escape the enemy team, and that's what can really lead to your team's downfall in these
Yeah.
fights. You have to use that ability, you know, aggressively, but
Bruh.
sparingly at times. You've got to make sure you're ready for those dives and that burst damage.
It has to be a nice kind of even distribution of using
sure.
it a little bit more selfishly, or making sure that you have that swift step online to get to
I swear, bro, these are the only heroes these guys have
Especially when
played.
you get more ult charge on
I think
Kiriko,
these are
really
the only
taking the
heroes they can
damage.
play.
Gotta make sure you're
I am
kind of
not sure though.
juggling both responsibilities. But I mean,
Look
it's
at this.
paid off for Teru. Look at how he's wrapping around the team. He's got
Already in the
Kitsune
back
rush.
line, Fielder, oh, dodging the...
Ooh.
They're good. Dodging the kunais. Not quite razor sharp just yet. Terra looking at the ground there, avoiding getting headshot by the railgun.
They could do Kitsune rush.
Okay, well, now both Kitsune rushes are online for both teams, and so you'll see them maybe crisscross
Wow.
each other as we round this next corner.
We will see him.
Percentage right now looking great for Edison, not so much for Shy. There is the Kitsune rushes for both teams. On high ground for Teru as well as Dallas
Wow.
Fuel. Both the Kitsune rushes up on height. Can they make good use of it? Looks like it. Yeah, you're feeling pretty good about that. Dallas
The
Fuel on
Dallas
just a spree right now. Pushing that
got
back, 3 on it,
destroyed.
4 minutes to go. Spark
I mean,
with
they
another
the
retest.
Dallas are sure the Sparks right
It's a
currently.
little unconventional to use the Kitsune rush on high ground, but I love that, as you mentioned, you kind of have to make sure that you can kind of pepper that a little bit, but they don't get there. Spark don't get there. That second point
Wow.
Ended up
Dallas Fuel.
touching, and Spark even used that sound barrier. You saw Spark was positioning, kind of chilling out in that corner, planting some flowers, like waiting for the team to come out so he can hit him with the Death Blossom. Spark was just unable to get through that door. Fearless's big burly body standing in the way, and the Dallas Fuel with 5 minutes to go on third. Like, that's a little bit silly.
I mean, this is rough too, because the way that the hybrid maps work, like, Hangzhou Spark got all 3 points, but they don't have any time in the bank. So they really are going to try to have to eat the clock off of Dallas Fuel to less than a minute remaining, or just
Oh,
stop
God.
in here.
Mad respect there for Shy. You see Dallas Fuel just run for the hills. So you see, I hear that overclock coming out. When does it end? Well, it ended in a second ago. Oh, Alpha Yi. Do they know where he's there? Surely they see him. Surely.
It doesn't look like
They
it.
do not see him. Fielder does not see. Okay, they see him now. That was kind of nice from Dallas Fuel. They're kind of playing back just a little bit. Death Blossom straight in Sparkle's face. Sparkle gets Suzu, but not in time. Alpha Yi just keeping himself alive through that. You get the life steal, of course, with the Death Blossom. Looking pretty good. Tank ultimate and a DPS ultimate invested in that fight for Spark. I mean, ideally they hold right here because they can drop onto the Fuel, but Fuel are just banking ultimates right now like they're on the weakest link.
Yeah, they're just playing
True.
for econ here. Now that they have a pretty big advantage over Hangzhou Spark.
Yeah, they have a
Go
really
in,
big
use the
advantage.
Kitsune rush. They
Like,
have a lot of
they don't
self-sustain
even
there
need
with
to
the Death
worry.
Blossom too, and the Primal Rage. Oh, and what a great position to use the Kitsune rush as well, as you are looking at these big high grounds to play off
Well,
of.
Teru's already dead, Rose. I mean, no Kitsune rush for the Spark right now, and no more Shy, no more damage
Wow.
to be. They can't kill Gushwei, but he does get back to the rest of the team as soon as they respawn, of course. Dallas Fuel did not use their Kitsune rush in this fight. I mean, what better point to use it on? A straight line, straight there. Teru, who's got one on line
And
two.
Shio still has the sound barrier as well to be able to respond to that Kitsune rush from the Spark.
Okay, Spark end up touching, and there's the Kitsune rushes, but now Dallas Fuel respond with a beat. They gotta focus someone, and Alpha Yi's already used that Wraith Form. The target is almost too perfect for the Dallas Fuel right now, but Fearless ends up going down regardless. How are the Spark able to keep themselves alive and burn down a Winston in these fights? I do not know.
Super Rich got that sound barrier online right at the nick of time in order to just kind of have that sound barrier
What a
happen
great-
later.
what a great
oftentimes
game
when we
this
see
is,
that from
honestly.
Teams, if you use your sound barrier after
Honestly, I
your
think this
opponent,
is
then
a better game than the one I
worked out
watched
for you in
on
order to get a
Sunday.
team fight win. That at least worked out for the Spark in this case, but now we're looking at dueling overclocks here as Edison pops his first.
All right, there's the overclock. Rain Form away. Shy versus Eddie. Oh, Shy gets him. 1v1 taken care of. The Spark looking good. Dallas Fuel once again kind of respecting this ultimate. They want to back up ideally here. Regroup as 5. I tell a lie. Dallas Fuel pumping the gas once again.
Dallas Fuel is
Now they
going
do
in.
Sparkle and Shio. All right. Now we reset.
But
You
they
don't
all
waste too much
have
time here.
that.
Ideally, you want more than a minute, right, Rose? Like, you want to get the free attack.
Exactly. And so that's really what Dallas Fuel are looking at. So they have one more attempt to be able to ensure that they will have that minute remaining, but they don't have much in the bank right now. Looking pretty empty when you look at what Spark has in spades, and that is damage. Alpha Yi right now has been able to convert these Death Blossoms into, what, 2-3 picks every single time?
And he can drop on the team too. That bubble's already been used, another big tool to kind of protect the Reaper, and that Death Blossom is pretty devastating sometimes. Alpha Yi also already burned the Wraith Form. There it is. Edison just plonks on his little head. Little Goomba Stomper attempted one. Alpha Yi more like Sigma Yi in that fight. Edison stood no chance. And neither
The
does
Spark
rest of
actually
Dallas
coming
Fuel.
back
Look
now.
at this.
They
Spark
got
have
the
defended
whole
against a
team
5
dead.
minute time back.
Wow.
Dallas Fuel, rather unlikely now to finish with time. You've got to imagine with the ultimates coming up for the Spark now.
Well, I mean, what if Dallas Fuel don't finish at all? that is a possibility that we need to consider as well, knowing that Teru was another Kitsune Rush online. Super Rich is outpacing Chio at the moment to be able to get that sound barrier back into Hangzhou Spark's alt bank, but Teru has been hitting these Kitsune Rushes perfectly.
Yeah, Fielder's not using his just yet, and Sparkle takes advantage of Teru
Wow.
stepping forward, being rather over aggro. No
The
switch
Reaper
there available,
using
maybe just caught
using
by
the
surprise.
Kitsune Rush to his
Sparkle fire
advantage.
machine guns right now. They aren't Hellfire shotguns at all. Shy, Alpha E dead. DPS missing for the Spark, but it is now under a minute. Exactly what the Spark wanted. A nice Suzu to keep Gushway alive, at least for a brief moment before he takes a face full of lead. 40 seconds to go. Spark have another contest, maybe, just maybe. Alpha E
Let's
triple
see,
click
what
onto the
the
point. Teru
Dallas-
trying to touch. Doesn't get there in time.
And
to
the
cause overtime,
Dallas
but,
touch.
it's all good.
That is
Going below
good.
a minute, which is the most important thing there. And they
That
defended
is
for
what
like
we
4
want.
plus. So
That's really impressive.
you're pretty happy with that if you're Spark. A minute to a minute 36 now.
Yeah, so that extra 36 seconds is pretty important here for Dallas Fuel. When you're looking at a minute left in the time bank, Spark realistically have enough time on their attacking push to get maybe one ultimate online, and that would be the Kitsune Rush. So the onus is on them right now to be able to build up to that ultimate and then see what else they can snowball out of getting that increased attack speed, and just seeing if they're able to top off some of the other ultimates to rotate through and snowball through the map of Paraíso. But for Dallas, that extra 36 could give them another attempt to attack. It gives them more time to get other ultimates online, and so they don't
Let's
have
see.
to
I'm
be
thinking that Dallas
perfect
will win.
on their first attack push. I
But
think that's what's
we will
really
see what
important about
happens.
that extra time that Dallas has for themselves.
Yeah,
Might
look-
not look like a lot, but it's kind of a lot.
Yeah, a little bit less pressure, right? I mean, that's lovely to have. You get set up a little bit better, take a more advantageous fight, and you get to defend first too. Some teams like that, I guess. Some teams don't. I do prefer attacking first, normally. But
I think having the defense first though is really good for teams that like to, set the tone. Where's that finish line gonna be? How far do they have to get? What's the goal in mind? So we're gonna see a little bit of jockeying for position here as Dallas Fuel just kind of getting some poke as you see Edison
you
just
don't see
popped.
Edison anywhere.
Okay then.
Dude's molecule at this
Wow.
point, he got vaporized. All right, Phyllis, you've got to come up with something large here, same with Sparkle. They're going to be able to back off Rose. Giving a tick isn't the worst, but it isn't, it's not the best either. All right, Sparkle's dead. Looking rough for the Fuel right now. At least they managed to keep a couple of people alive in the back. You can see Fearless and Fielder just kind of chilling, maxing, relaxing on height, but
What an awkward
oh, Eddie's dead again.
position to come back into this though when you have to wrap around like that.
Beautiful spawn camp there from Gushway. Edison probably used that slide to try and get back.
Beautiful
in time,
spawn
but,
camp.
you're dead.
Yeah,
Gushway
bro.
with a 9-head push. Point has been captured. Overtime coming in, but the payload
Wow.
has been unlocked. More importantly,
Yeah, fight was a little too fast to be able to see that Kitsune Rush get ready for this next engage.
Let's
but
see.
they're really fighting right now to see both of those come online for either team. But Hangzhou Spark, they cannot get off of the payload now, or overtime will expire. Dallas Fuel are already back in action, and both bubbles have been used.
this will be a really nice spot to actually hold the payload for the Dallas.
You
Fuel.
gotta
Those
hold the
outbars just
payload.
Melting right now. I mean, Fielder's in the backline, which is great, but I mean, you are fighting the doorways still. All right, you are going to fall. All good. Dallas Fuel go again. Spark
Oh,
looking
no.
great. Both support ultimates come up. In fact, it's
they
5
have
ults.
everything.
It's 5 ults, basically.
Yeah, look at how far forward Alpha Yi feels like he can play right now. Also knowing that he has the Wraith Walk, he can get away if he needs to. Also,
They're
it's a
actually
really
being
nice
so
target there
good.
for Fearless, but then you can kind of catch him out by surprise. Where's Teru going?
Where is he? Nice Kitsune Rush. He does drop off of high ground, does not climb it. Worth keeping in mind. Those healing shots coming out pretty damn fast too if you're Teru. Alright, so ultimates invested for a lot of space from the Spark. Even a Death Blossom straight on top of themselves to try and play a little bit more defensive. Dallas Fuel had to use their beat to sustain themselves through it as Gushway is the first to fall. Shy next as overtime is in session. The Dallas Fuel looking like they're going to hold here. But what an impressive push from the Hangzhou Spark. All off of a single minute.
Is that
Went really far with that
the
minute
Sparks
time
won?
bank. Just being able to cycle through the ultimates that came online, and also winning those 2 fights they had where nothing was available. So just raw vanilla fights there and still winning in the neutral. Dallas also, I mean, the only way that they could stop them was just by ultimates coming online. That's it. And I think that just, you know, speaks volumes to how well Hangzhou Spark have been looking for those opportunities to just take out just one member of Dallas Fuel and then converting that into a team kill.
Yeah, I mean, ideally their Spark have an initial opening where Shy gets a pick onto Edison, ideally, or just someone else. Didn't end up working out that way, of course, and then, well, Dallas Fuel, because you end up going down that late, you were able to kind of sustain. As long as Chio got that beat off and it hit people like Sparkle, you're good, because it's a later beat because Spark ended up having theirs first. So it was a little bit of cash up there from the Fuel, but it didn't end up working out nonetheless. Well, let's see what they can do on their attack. 1 minute and 36. Like we said, you get a little bit of extra time to set up, but...
1 minute and 36 for the attack.
Getting it all the way to second, right? So it's looking pretty rough, but we've seen crazier things.
I mean, does Edison get a chance to actually play the game? I feel like Shy has constantly had his number this entire match so far. And if you see Edison in a position where he's able to kind of free fire, so maybe Fearless is able to create enough space that Edison can play a little bit farther back and still find those railgun charge shots, then you're in business here if you're Dallas Fuel, but that's a huge reset here. Dallas will have to go again.
Where Shio was there, he was just kind of on the very back line of the Dallas Fuel, didn't end up pushing himself through the rest of the team. They can stagger these kills too. I mean, you'll take a couple of seconds here and there away from the Fuel. That was their free attack gone, 60 seconds to go now. What a good pick. Again, man, Spark and picks, name a better duo.
Yeah, well, at least you still get a chance to see a second attempt here. That's really what that extra 30 seconds provides. But this is it. This is it. Jaws, they've got to be perfect here. They've got to get a pick here now, and they've got to be able to capture this first point and sink it in if they want to be able to take this map too.
He has right click. He's got right click. He has rail. Oh, Chio takes a body shot. Looked like a headshot, but it was a little bit too close to his chest there. All right, Dallas Fuel make their way to the grocery store, picking up hopefully a point. And now they just need to juggle contest here, just waiting for those cooldowns to come up. You can see Edison trying to take an aggressive stance here. Alpha Yi noticing that he has no Wraith Walk available. They bubble him so he can't get healed. There's the beat from the Spark. They got the ultimate from Teru coming out rather soon, but Shy's already taking care of the team. The Dallas Fuel unable to break that first point open. A team kill for the Spark.
Team kill. Yeah, the Dallas. Wow. That is a 1-1. Tie game.
Sune rushes have been so
Tie
there from
game.
Teru.
Let's see.
Coming online at the right time, but also just the
Can the Sparks come back?
Those paths and the way that the Spark have been able to play around that has been spectacular.
I mean, ridiculous damage numbers as well coming up from Shy, right? 31% of the team's damage for the Sojourn. Like he's leading currently in the lobby with 21k damage.
Yeah, that's over 5,000 of the next person.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. He's pretty good when he does click the heads of other I was going to say other teammates, other players in the lobby. I mean,
it's really good that there's no friendly fire.
Overwatch would be unplayable with friendly fire. I would love to see a workshop mode with that on there. That would be quite funny.
Yeah,
I mean,
Shy would just be killing everybody.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you got a 9k kill, right? You just start clicking on your teammates as well for some additional kills. You feel pretty good about yourself. I mean, Shy's just picking off Edison time and time again, really opening things up for the Spark. And it's not 3 Overwatch.
No.
Let's go.
First match that has not been a 3-0. Let's get it.
Dallas Fuel #1 seed versus Spark, the 12th seed. Currently,
it has not been over.
Dallas Fuel's map
3 Overwatch today. This is game 1, game point. Next round is game point.
Of the 2022
Wow.
Overwatch League season. What a series. I mean, it really couldn't get better than that. Happy, though, gets OG, which is huge because he can't build into the sound barrier, and you have less than a minute now. If you are the Atlanta Rain trying to have an opportunity, a chance to stop the Washington Justice, Matt getting taken out, but Decay with the answer right afterwards. He gets a 3K, make it a 4K. That's the Rain checking out, and the Washington Justice now 30 seconds left for them to claim this map.
It's going to be a pretty big deal to try to get some of those picks, but oh man.
Oh, the Gravitic Flux. Everybody's having a party, but not Merit, though. He gets taken out by Proper, and that leaves Iris open there, too. He almost got the Transcendence, which would have been absolutely huge right there, but Proper has other plans. Now he's still racking up. He's about to get another Pulse Bomb on board here, too. Take a look at our Proper highlight, moving in, taking care of Merit here, too. On top of this is the very start where we saw the Outlaws.
We have 2 minutes until the last
see Proper
match.
not only taking care of so many of the Outlaws, but also right after that, he was able to quickly build up the Pulse Bomb and then land the Pulse Bomb right afterwards.
Once Dallas can get the engagement they're looking for, they're off to the races.
This fight for the Gladiators, though, coming up should be pretty good. This will be a Nano, Tac Visor.
Oh, he's dead.
Unbin should get mowed down, yeah. You also have Sound Barrier, but you're probably going to save that, right? You know Sparkle is going to have that Blade coming up soon. Not going to pop it now. Funny Astro with a little, with some big kills there in the feed. So.
Yeah, Lastro or Funny Astro, both of them really getting involved in a lot of these final blows.
Wow.
They flopped and lost.
It is
all. They
amazing
didn't
how
get the second
the
tick.
Sparks came back.
So Florida down to a minute 36. All the ultimates coming out. Primal and a Nano Tactical Visor. It's matched by Merit and shut down just as quickly. Hydron with the 4K, and Pelican will soar back to spawn.
Call that one a 5K, Lemon. The American Tornado spins up and gets those Houston Outlaws out of here. You can go all in, but I hope you got insurance against the weather, baby.
18 seconds left in the round. Now Dallas able to sneak out in front there. The Nano on the Sparkle creates enough space for them to go to work. And now the Gladiators, not only, Matt, do they have to win this fight, they have to exceed Dallas's previous progress. This is it. The locus of activity now is about to go down as we're into overtime on New Queen Street. Harmon is a grab. That could be it. It's what he's looking for. He gets 3 pretty much straight away. Going to be defensive by the grenade from Shu, but it's not going to be enough. Fielder drops a bio in of his own, and Dallas spend the entire round behind on New Queen Street, but it's them at the end wearing the crown. What a reverse sweep from the Dallas Fuel. Haters be silenced. Incredible comeback.
See, this could happen. This could happen with
Claim event perks live at the Overwatch League playoffs and grand finals through the mobile app. Get all broadcast perks, plus 100 tokens, new in-game cosmetics, an exclusive spray, and all new drops across games. Tickets available now.
There's still time to get your tickets. Join us at the Overwatch League Grand Finals and catch Leah, Denise, and Cherise Booth, the voice actors for Junker Queen and Sojourn, live. Tickets are on sale now. Overwatchleague.com/2022/playoffs. If you didn't catch that, it's on the screen. So yeah, if you want to come meet some sick voice actors, then you can come down. Also, yeah, you can watch some sick games. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. There you go, and time and date are on the screen too. November 4th at 4 p.m. PT. All right, the Spark and the Dallas Fuel currently loggerheads 1 apiece. No more 3 Overwatch. Thank you very much, Spark, for that. The guy on your screen, absolute Chad gameplay from Shy in that last round. I mean, Rose, you picked up on the very end, like, a little bit more damage than the rest of the server.
Maybe just a little bit.
21,000 damage, 21 charge shot kills, 19 final blows, overclock kills, 6 deaths. Like, the guy is made to play Sojourn. It was one of the big standout performances when Sojourn really started to gain popularity in 2022. He had like 79% rail accuracy at one point, which is inhuman.
That's very inhuman. I don't think we would have expected to see that from many players, and definitely leagues above, but also just like kind of removing that damage potential from Edison off the board. Edison died 14 times, and many of those were at the hands of Shy.
Yeah, that's what you want. Sojourn, you go get a pick now. Shy says, okay. Click, he dead.
Wow,
It's a
you
little
make
bit
it
ridiculous.
sound so easy.
It does. I mean, hey, it's easy for Shy. Not easy
That's true.
Not easy for a lot of people. A lot of crack Sojourns in the league, but Shy is definitely up there. Dallas Fuel ended up choosing Dorado Rose as our next map. What do you make of this?
It's definitely another good Winston map. So I definitely expect to see Fearless come out on the Winston here for Dorado as well. And, you know, Fuel has had some really close calls in some matches, but pulling out that pocket Fearless Winston pick on a map like Dorado has really been beneficial to them. So maybe this is just what they need to play on something that's comfortable and play on something that's going to give them a confidence boost.
Confidence is the name of the game. Destiny is in Spark's hands currently. If they take down the #1 seed, I mean, how many boards are left? Predictions?
2.
There's like 2 or something? Yeah.
I don't know. I actually don't even know if there are any left at this point because this isn't a 3-0. So I don't know. Scoreline matters too.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Day #1 was a trip, and we haven't even reached the destination yet. All right, we'll see what Spark can do on their defense. No changes here for the comps. Oh, sorry, the rosters, but a little bit of a change in the comps. Yeah, we have Alfie actually on the Echo.
Okay.
Instead of Reaper.
Whew. All right, so when we were watching the Overwatch League team scrim, a lot of what ended up settling out of the meta was like Winston stuff, right? But I didn't actually see a whole lot of Echo. So this is a bit of a surprise. Just knowing that, you know, Echo maybe being able to play around the buildings a little bit, be surprised to see how long maybe Alpha E stays on the Echo pick.
Any headshots? Oh, look how disciplined they are, just respecting the Widowmaker. You always got it. But yeah, Alpha, you can play around all these buildings as well to get mad damage down. Also the burst damage from the sticky bombs. Way too much for Kiriko to heal through. You have to. Oh, what was that? How did Eddie die that quick? That must have been a little bit of an assist there from someone else. That was an instant try shot to the face.
It was sticky bombs on top of the headshot damage too. I think
let's see.
Straight to the dome.
All right, Spark on the Tracer. Like you can dash across the
oh,
building
they have
quite
actually
easily.
changed
Just
player.
Speaking of
They have
pressure,
actually
Goose
changed.
under a lot of it. A Mac
They have
truck
actually
of,
changed
pressure from Spark.
fingers on their
Dodging around there. You
team.
can see him trying to find
Characters
Alfie,
on
just
their
chucking
team,
Alfie
wow.
down would be really nice. Teru's healing is going to be able to hit Echo up in the air. You just need to make sure your crosshair is kind of over the Echo, but the cards take a little bit of time to actually get towards the Echo, so you can take them out before the healing is in effect. We'll see how Dallas Fuel want to approach this. Of course, killing Gooshway was nice. It forces Spark all the way back.
Oh, look at that too. Alfie just kind of locking down these corridors so that nobody can come by and surprise them. Oh my gosh, look at the sticky bombs too, just onto Fearless's face.
He is getting rolled, but no, it's all good. Suzu was there to help him out. Nice. Wow. What a stick for Sparkle too. Oh, Sparkle. Okay. Alfie Teru Shy turned to Cinder.
All right, well, that's going to be a point A capture there for Dallas Fuel off the back of a very nice pulse bomb there from Sparkle. And we saw this, you know, when looking at the damage hero choices and just looking at that statistic a little bit earlier on the desk, that Tracer did have a 1.5% pick rate. Just kind of if you decided to play a little bit more of that dive, where, especially if maybe you expected the Echo here coming out from Alpha, you can go back, change to the Tracer, and get a little bit more into the backline.
Yeah, I much prefer Tracer here on this map than I do the Reaper, if they aren't going to mirror you. So a lot easier to chunk the Echo down. The Reaper's fall off is a little bit ridiculous, plus Tracer's got a lot more mobility on it too. You can see Sparkle, all he needs to do really is just farm out the pulse bomb off of Gushway, then go into the backline, or even stick it to Gushway to be fair. Oh, Alpha Yeet does take care of Chio though, and he did have a beat in his back pocket, so the Spark are more than okay just sitting on this high ground now, knowing that Dallas Fuel don't have speed, so they can't really go for any cool flank plays. You can see even Alpha Yeet just going a little bit aggro. Same with Teru. Where is Teru? Well, nobody knows.
In a corner somewhere, just waiting to come back out, especially when the sound barrier is active and ready to go. That's good. Really nice disengage there from Dallas to let that expire.
Yeah, Alfie's got a copy. Double Winston, potentially. Or even something more Chad-like, maybe a copy Eddie. have 2 Sojourns. Well, 1 Sojourn did, so maybe a second would be nice right now. Super Rich ends up falling. They capitalize on Spark not having beat there. They just beat in and just start killing. That's really about it. That was the game plan right there. That was what in comms. We beat, we kill. Easy as
worked
that.
out. I mean, Gushue
Sometimes
pops
it's really that simple.
Sometimes it is. Gushue pops the Primal Rage here, so that will maybe provide a bit of sustain. But unfortunately, there was just too much follow-up there from Dallas to allow Hangzhou to come back in and recontest. So look at the ults that are off the board here for Spark. But look at what's available here for Dallas. The Kitsune Rush is going head-to-head. And we haven't seen the copy yet come in from Alpha Yi's Echo. So where does that go?
Honestly, you could even transform into Kiriko. You get so much ult charge from headshots on the monkey.
Kitsune Rush and then into another Kitsune Rush.
Yeah, you could literally pave the way to Rome at that point.
That sounds busted.
All right, Kitsune Rush for Teru. There's the copy. It's going on to the Winston. So double Winston on the field. Free Primal Rage for Alpha. If you can stay alive, you do get a lot less health now in Overwatch 2 with the copy. So Alpha doesn't even get that Primal. Shy ends up falling over once again. The target priority from the Fuel looking great. Shy, the main damage dealer for the Spark, especially in that last match, is just getting perma-focused. Sparkle hits a Pulse Bomb on the wall. Not quite onto Super-ish, but a pretty hard target to hit nonetheless. And now the Dallas Fuel doing a little bit of spawn camping, being rather cheeky about it.
All right, just kind of keeping the body blocked, I guess. Fearless just pushing up too. I'm not really afraid of Alpha Yi either. Okay, Spark do make it out of the gate.
They do make it out there, yeah. Primal Rage for Phyllis, batting everybody back, and now they have to contend with that beat, but it's going to look a little bit bad for them if they do lose people. Speaking of which, Shy and Edison go a serve.
Okay, I'm sorry guys, I wasn't here
That was the
for a bit. But bro, Dallas are going 2-0.
No
Dallas are
really,
2-0.
Dallas Field to kind of continue that fight. They were closest to the beat, but you can't really sustain, especially when the spawn's right there.
Yeah, well, we're going to see a nice switch, though, from Alpha Yi. After using the duplicate, he will switch to something that provides a bit more point presence, and that's going to be the Reaper. And Sparkle as well, you know, the Tracer really just losing its potency as you have less ability to go in and surprise your opponent, and you have less access to the backline, too, because it's just not as stagnant.
Nice little flank there from Edison. In fact, the entirety of the Dallas Fuel just kind of chilling on the high ground, turning the tables on the Hangzhou Spark. There's the beat from the Fuel, but they're not able to use it. Look at that. Gushue literally playing bouncer right now at the door, refusing entry, no ID, no getting in. The Dallas Fuel end up using the beat and they get really nothing for it, not even positioning really. I mean, sure, you touch the payload, but whatever, say the Spark. 2 minutes to go, and here comes the Kitsune Rush straight onto the final point, and now the Dallas Fuel can move on forward. You gotta be careful. Eddie's shooting fast, and he's nearing that overclock. A couple of meters to go. Spark end up touching the point just in time, but not in time to save Gushue.
And that is
the Kitsune Rush, but no one's there to touch.
3-0.
I mean, Gushue is the main person there, right, to contest
defending
on the point.
by
Alpha Yi, but they end up stepping off. They give Dallas Fuel a little bit of extra time there. 1 minute and 51 seconds.
It's always tough
and the
because
Spark
you do
are
expect that,
attacking.
like, your tank player
All
would
we
go in
need
just
to
because
see
they have
is
that
great,
extra health and
great,
see some follow-up there from
great defense
DPS that has a
from
bit more
Dallas.
mobility. But sometimes things can get miscommunicated, or you just get lost in the sauce a little bit trying to clean up those kills. But we've seen Spark and Dallas go into extra rounds already on Paraíso, and that was a great defensive hold there from the Spark. So let's see what they can do coming out on the offense. Do they go with the Alpha Yi Echo again? It looks like Dallas is going to go back to that Tracer pick there from Sparkle. Woo! Oh my god, the long-range Suzu.
Unreal Suzu there. Stopping that laser beam doing well.
Oh, that's unlucky.
That's unlucky. But he gets up! Don't worry, baited!
Alright, that's a new tag.
My word, okay, that was a sick play from Edison. Wow.
What? Well, I mean, I see like the Reapers too, sometimes they'll get like booped off of the edge and then they'll
it's not a direct
teleport.
plummet, right?
Yeah, so you have some time to get the teleport back up there.
There's probably very few surfaces you could do that on, but that specific spot, because the rocks are angled downwards, you're able to power slide up. That is
very cool tech.
Pretty
very
sick
cool.
nasty there from Eddie. Alpha Yi. Oh, if he hit that shot. If only that would have been the highlight package for the rest of time. All right, so Dallas Fuel are still going to run the Tracer, Rose, on first point. Alpha Yi, no Echo to be seen, just Reaper.
I actually think this really... Wait, no, hang on.
Oh, little change. Okay,
Okay,
matching Tracer.
matching the Tracer. Okay, so, you know, the Tracer versus Tracer here, you're really maybe hoping that they're going to keep each other in check, but also look at how they control the health packs and really how they try to get access to the Kiriko to force them to use their mobility cooldowns.
Another beautiful bubble there. If you can use your bubble a little bit later, you're more than the better for it. Yeah, Teru Swift Step. Very short cooldown, mind you, Swift Step. But if you do use it, like, teams are going to dominate you. if you use it right in front of their face and then you're right next to them still, like, yeah, you're dead.
The best teams will notice when those cooldowns are, you know, what the timer is and just try to capitalize when you don't have that available. But it is let's go again. Alpha E actually gonna switch over to the Reaper here, so not feeling the Tracer right now, and I like the Reaper even against the Tracer especially because you've got such a big amount of sustainability, being able to just be a little bit more self-sufficient, but then also look at how well Alpha E is gonna burst through these Winston bubbles. It's not something Sparkle can do on the Tracer.
Little Suzu action there from Fielder. Had to save himself from Alpha Yi. Yeah, I really like the switch over. It's like a brute force tactic, right? You switch to Reaper because you just want to hold W and M1 and just force Fearless into a position where he can't use the bubble like super aggro. We'll see how they want to do this fight though. Fielder, a little bit more damage and healing from him, so he's got the Kitsune Rush online first.
Yeah, we will see that probably get just used here to keep Hangzhou Spark from being able to take this first objective.
Let's see.
Especially if they can beat Teru to the punch, but
what is going to happen? Leaving my phone. Because I was on my phone this whole time. But no more phone. We are all into this. Who is going to win?
Oh, you messed with the best, you done like the rest. Sparkle, Shy with a nice headshot. Kitsune Rush is coming out. But look at that! Oh, Edison, how does he kill Shy in that situation? It looked like he had the perfect lineup. Beats from both teams. It's like very staggered, but losing Sparkle, he's going to be able to come back, yes, but he's got no front line now. Edison gone. Fearless is going to follow. He had Primal Rage, but maybe deciding not to use it, getting a better position on second is more often than not better for you. You don't want Spark to set up on that high ground, so they're not going to invest much else. They're going to let Spark have that point as they make their way back up onto height.
It's great, too, to see that, you know, Dallas... They just recognized it's not even worth to have the Pulse Bomb to be able to use that, maybe to get a pick, because it's never a guarantee whether you're going to hit it or whiff it. So Sparkle gonna just go ahead and switch over to the Reaper to contest against Hangzhou Sparks. Force a little bit better.
I mean, Alpha Yi descending from the heavens there. I mean, Gio did end up going down, probably received a little bit of damage from that Death Blossom. Nice bit of charge there for Edison. Can he find a headshot? Nope. Finds a body shot though. That'll do it. That'll do it. Fearless Primal Rage has ran out, but without a front line, the Hangzhou Spark need something more. Teru takes down Edison.
What is Fearless going to do?
They have to disengage from this. Edison will be able to get back pretty quickly with the power slide, and you can play at range. But all the while, Sparkle just going to go ahead and hold the front line strong here for Dallas.
Woo. There we go. Oh, little TP.
This is last game.
Surprise, but not really, because you knew I was there. All good, all good.
I love that voice
appreciate
line.
It nonetheless. Yeah, there's a ton of new ones. There's a lot of interactions with Kiriko too, voice lines with other people, it's pretty sick.
So, look at the Winstons too, how Fearless and Gushui are just kind of posturing against each other. You know, getting that Tesla cannon damage, just trying to make sure that they are able to create enough
pushing the bit to go in there.
For their DPS to operate in, especially when you can hold that corner. And that's going to be great
Sparky
for
back now on the Reaper.
Get the Winston bubble popped down because Gushui's a little bit out of position, but it gets popped immediately by Sparkle's focus.
Shy doesn't... Sparkle doesn't want to get headshot by Shy there. They must know he's on the
now has
his
ult.
Nice boot.
Oh, what a ult!
Super Shoots with a half a team kill as he boops.
That was honestly amazing. An amazing ult.
Gio does end up going down though, so
oh, and he is dead.
Pick up there from Shy. Sparkle was trying
wow.
to get the rest of the team using the teleport, wasn't able to. Shy picks him out. They haven't, the Spark don't have Teru, but it doesn't matter because Super Rich had the beats. Shy focused eventually.
Starkey trying to help them win, and that payload got to the second play.
In the Dallas Fuel's favor right now is that Edison overclocks and takes down Super Rich. Teru not long for this world, I can imagine, if Sparkle does chase him down. few meters before that second checkpoint was unlocked by the Spark, with Dallas Fuel holding on.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a really big stagger there too, where Hangzhou Spark coming back into this second point push. They have a minute remaining, and that is it. So looking at their ultimates, they've got the Death Blossom online. That can be really potent, especially if Alpha Yi... Oh, look at the wraparound that they're taking here, too. Shy's going to get into a position to be around the team behind the Fuel, under this Ivy, and then Alpha Yi can go in with a teleport and drop back down onto Dallas if they decide to move in.
All right, don't get headshot challenge. Dallas Fuel. Alpha Yi's already dead. Overclock coming out. Shy is just getting juggled right now by Fearless. A good use of the Primal Rage, stopping Shy getting any work done. I mean, he's shooting the Winston, sure, but he just gets isolated and killed. Teru, he can kind of heal him through that. You saw how long Shy was staying alive, but what a perfect mitigation of the overclock.
There's 20 seconds, and they're still on the first point. Wow.
Gun charges were just not doing as much damage to be able to chunk down that Winston in the prime.
I think this is a clear win for the Pelicans. I mean, for the Dallas. For Dallas.
Yeah, okay, they do manage to get that touch. So, overtime, trigger.
Wow, overtime. Oh, they get it to the second point.
The Dallas Fuel have to drop and get there.
Few, get in there.
Terror ends up getting focused down.
Good shoe.
A nice little leap there onto Fearless, and Dallas Fuel just kind of working
Wow.
towards these ultimates.
They're now nearly on the second point. What will happen? Oh my god. And there's the Reaper with the ult. Wow. Wow. That was amazing. Wow.
In the series with a nice defense on that second.
That was amazing.
Shy just having a little bit of a rough one. Looked like Dallas Fuel kind of had him on
Good
lockdown.
job.
Looked at, oh, look, who's killing us? Well, it's Shy. Overclock comes out. Fearless instantly hitting Q. Jumps to the backline with the Primal Rage, making sure Shy does not get any overclock kills. Because
that was an amazing game.
Just, opening things up for the Spark, making these fights doable.
That was a really nice adjustment to see from Dallas when they recognized that they might have
Wait,
to
are they playing one more game?
a little bit more to make sure that
I thought this was it.
free reign of their team. So they will win their map pick.
What a sick clip. Man, that Suzo on Citizen was so clean. Dallas Fuel up a map, Rose. We go to map number 4. First time in playoffs 2022. You'll love to see it. It's day number 2. We'll be right back after this break.
Oh wait, so this is not the last match. There's one more match until the end. Wow. Hello guys, I'll be right back. Wait, I want to go back to the...
And it all comes down to this.
For the first time in a damn long while, we have land.
This is where legends are born, Matt.
You can feel the momentum.
A global tournament finally pitting the West and East regions together.
This is the playoffs, so you gotta give it all you got.
We are going all the way. Today is about maximum Overwatch. Are you not entertained?
If you're not entertained, you probably should be. Map number 4 coming up in just a moment. Rose, am I going to say it correct? The bingo board is already
Okay, guys.
because Johnny said it incorrectly.
We're back.
But for the first time in Overwatch League, we are playing Esperanza Spark's Pick.
Oh, I'm so excited about getting a chance to see this map played by some of the best. It's a beautiful map,
Yeah.
but also I think that it's going to be really interesting to see how teams decide to take fights on this map too.
Yeah, it's
Push.
yeah, it is interesting. I don't really know what other word to kind of slot in there. I'll go to my Theosaurus in a minute and find one, but it's kind of cool. There's a lot of high ground on the first point, and looking over the second point too, it looks pretty unassailable. More often than not, there are a couple of flank routes here and there, but I've wanted to see this pro play for so long, and you know, thank you, Spark. Thank you.
Yeah,
for
thank you.
picking it. We get our first taste of Esperanza. I can imagine it's going to be the same kind of comps though. Reaper's still pretty good here. There's a lot of corners, a lot of hiding spaces too. If you really want to go crazy with it and hit the cheeky Death Blossoms, I'm curious on how teams end up not only kind of attacking the first point, but recovering from that first fight, because there's, like I mentioned, there's a lot of high ground to defend on if you win that first fight and the bot ends up moving below the bridge, and that high ground overlooks the second point. So it's kind of a Sojourn paradise in that way.
Well, let's talk about the Sojourn. We already highlighted how Shy has been able to do in this matchup so far, but Edison finally got a chance to play Sojourn, and that was thanks to the adjustment we saw from Dallas Fuel to put a little bit more focus on making sure that Edison could stay alive. I mean, you saw the Suzu's coming through
That was a
from
sick clip.
Fielder. That was a super sick clip, but also when your charge shot accuracy is 66% and your hero damage is almost 12,000, this is what we wanted to see from Edison in this match.
It's what you kind of expect, right? Edison's come out pretty big on Sojourn, but he is dueling with one of the best in Shy on the other side. Shy looking a little bit muted though. He's turned the volume up just a little bit. I mean, look, Fearless kind of had his number. There was a lot of times where he was committing Primal Rage or like just a bubble on top of Shy, forcing him to use that power slide, and not in an aggressive way, more of a defensive way. And that's been the key, or at least on Dorado, that was the key for Dallas Fuel. It looks like they've very much identified that target and taken him down. You could see that in the stats. Of course, you can't see them directly on your screen, but Shy's damage numbers weren't nearly as much as they were in the previous maps, like not hitting that 30+% team damage. He's more sitting at like 23% with the rest of his team.
I think what's really impressive about Dallas Fuel being able to play a bit more reactive is that's kind of not their play style. They're the playmakers. They're the ones setting the pace for a lot of their matches that we've seen from them this season. And so Dallas just, you know, using their abilities a little bit more to react to whatever Spark are throwing at them. Pretty cool to see.
Oh, his music going kind of hard though. All right. Esperanza, first time we're seeing it played in pro play, in the Overwatch League at least, in the 2022 playoffs. I'm glad a team actually was brave enough to kind of choose it. It's kind of, it's an interesting one. Could be a double-edged sword, you know. Our team's practiced enough on that map. Will it end up hurting teams because they haven't practiced on it because it is the new map? Maybe they're thinking, oh, well, no team's going to pick it because it's fairly new. How much scrim time has been played on the map? That's the kind of the big question. And I'm glad we're seeing two Titans at this point. I mean, Spark 3-0'd yesterday, looking great against the Dallas Fuel so far, despite the scoreline. We'll see if Dallas Fuel can round this one out, though, with a dub, sending them through Spark down to the lower bracket.
Well, I mean, the first two maps between these two teams were very close. Lijiang, all 3 rounds were played, 99 to like, you know, 85 in that range of capture progress for both teams. We went to extra rounds there on Paraíso and Dorado, just a little bit less close. So we'll see what happens. I mean, Spark and Dallas, when they get a chance to play the Reaper and the Winston, they also start out on that. I feel like that's really where we start to see these two Titans go head to head.
All right. Doors are opening. Same kind of comms. No real surprise. Again, like I said, there's a lot of corners for Reaper to hide around. And Sojourn, she's pretty good. She's pretty strong. She can one-shot people. All right, let's see how both teams end up attacking. There is a miniature, there's a health pack. You can see where Gooshway is. No health pack in that small little room, which you can kind of hold. Both teams taking a very opposite approach. Looks like Spark just wants to go for a wraparound, so switching sides almost here.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, too, you're just kind of making sure that there's no surprises coming at you. Oh, man.
Yeah, you can't just walk up like that. Super straight line, easy shot, even for the noobs out there, even for me. Dallas Fuel end up losing both Phyllis and Sparkle right off the rip. I mean, I guess he can TP away, but the bot is in firm control of the Hangzhou Spark right now.
Yeah, after the 2 picks from Shy, Dallas will have no choice but to back off from this, especially when they're missing such a big key piece of their front line in Sparkle's Reaper.
Okay.
He's missing again. Okay, then Shy.
Yeah, all right, Shy, woken up. Volume up to 100 right now. Edison in his sights. Nice body shot. Alfie finishes him off. Bot isn't getting stolen, by the way.
Oh.
I believe that was Mike Gilder, who teleports back to the team.
So yeah, we've never had this. This is a rare game 4 in the secondary. Wow, that's amazing.
As soon as this bot rounds this corner, Shy can just sit on height with Railgun, and he almost has overclock.
Yep, exactly. And that's really scary to have to play against if you're Dallas. Where are you gonna actually poke your head out from that doesn't give Shy a sight line?
Yep. Pretty tough map to assail on this point, but looks like Dallas Fuel, all the mobility tools, you should be able to get on top of Shy. He's waiting for someone to peek. Nice 2-man, 3-man dive, in fact, with the Lucio, and make that 4-man. This ends now, though. Shy unleashing the overclock. However, Kitsune Russian fielder, but just runs head first into an overclock shot. Dallas Fuel used the beat to try and push on 4, but a later beat from the Hangzhou Spark. With little to no heal, the Dallas Fuel holding this one just by a thread. I guess Fearless has got Primal, but it doesn't really matter. Sparkle is down. A lot of it ult invested for the Dallas Fuel. The Spark don't even use their Kiriko ult, so they're able to get that checkpoint with ease.
Put a lot of faith into Shy's ability to use that overclock and convert it to kills.
Okay, so
it does. I mean, the sound barrier as well, just a really nice response there to the Kitsune Rush and the sound barrier coming in from Chio. But the full support ultimate's gone. Edison's time to overclock, though.
This game is actually going crazy. I can't read what is happening.
But to get him away from the rest of the team, but he's got to look at the rest of the Fuel, who are the main ones. Fearless has got himself on the board already, as the bot is going to get flipped over.
Dallas are bringing it back.
All right. Well, they have a little bit to make up for.
That
was a point capture for Hangzhou Spark, but those forward spawns have been disactivated.
Oh yeah,
deactivated.
true.
I don't know what I was going for there, but deactivated.
Disactivated.
Dallas have to start pushing is the point I was leading up to.
Right.
They don't have a whole lot for this except for
I
Sparkle's
really
Death
said
Blossom.
disactivated.
But they're contending against one from Alpha E as well.
That was so close. You can one-shot someone with the 85 there. Ideally you want 100, so even if it's a body shot, it's still almost enough to kill somebody. Very early bubble from Gooshway, so it looks unlikely that Spark are actually going to go for a super aggressive dive. You see Gooshway just trying to take that high ground, has to back off instantly. A Death Blossom straight from above. Shy ends up taking down Sparkle, but Gooshway and Super Rich are already dead. You
Let's
see
see,
Shy hunting, searching,
We're gonna have
trying
this
to
guy
find kills, but
gonna
no
pop up.
one's in his sight
No,
lines.
his
Shy
ult.
gets taken down.
His
The
ult goes
Bucks
to
firmly in
waste,
control
like
of
just
the
like
fuel,
that.
and even
They
have
chase
that
after the
Kitsune rush.
Reaper, and then the Reaper is
Alpha
dead.
E didn't get a chance to
Wow.
use that Death Blossom either, so that's a resource at least Hangzhou Spark
That is a
has
good
onto
strategy. Just go
for this
forward
next
for them.
engagement. But when you look at how they might be able
Wow.
to use it here, I mean,
That is
Dallas
amazing.
probably getting this first checkpoint
Almost
unless
near the
Gooshway
first
wants
point.
to commit his body to the point.
No, he does
And I
not.
don't see him doing that because he's just not within
Here
the
they're
sight
giving them
line
space.
of his healers right now. Like Super Rich was still coming back from spawn. So point will be unlocked here for Dallas Fuel as they round this corner. Fueler's gonna have a great time using this Kitsune rush.
Oh yeah. Long straight road to be repaved. They know they just need to play it. There's the Kitsune rush. Yeah, cuts off the road. Oh, what a shot by Shy. Shuts down fielding yet again. Can the Dallas Fuel hold on? They're not done quite yet. Alfie and Super Rich bite the dust. It's the Dallas Fuel, they're in the lead. That Kitsune rush, more often than not, Rose, especially in this meta, has just been a Q to win button. Shy once again coming out with kills. Like this guy's almost 50% of his team's damage currently. Like
Bruh.
insane stuff, and he's still
They're already
unpicked.
pushing it
He is the
farther.
sole
They've
member of the Spark
pushed
right
it
now
farther
that's
than
keeping this one competitive.
the Spark.
Really, I mean, we've looked at this from Hangzhou Spark a few times, that Shy and Alpha Yi, like, they're just such good DPS players.
He has 6,000 damage, almost 50%
Yeah,
of
that,
his
yeah,
team's DPS right now.
It's just nuts.
All right, railgun charge.
Come on, Shy, what
Is he
you
gonna
got?
vaporize? Edison right in front of his face, trying to go for an ego peek, but the jump kind of lands short, and Phyllis takes him out. Shy tried to get onto the opposite high ground there, but ends up just getting focused down by Fearless. The bot is currently in contention with the Spark and the Fuel, but with the main damage dealer down for the Spark, looking quite unlikely they're able to finish this one off. Nice Suzu to keep Fearless in. There we go. Bot regained control by the Spark. Nice work.
All right, so yeah, Super Rich just stalling for a little bit, but that bot is going to walk very quickly back to pick up where it left off. And now you're really looking at this bot train around these final two
Oh my
corners here. I
God.
love this overhead view because it shows you also where Fearless was
Wow.
going after Shy.
It's actually
that's a
going crazy.
huge threat taken off the board, and now this is the space Dallas.
The
Fuel
Dallas
needs
are
to round
actually
the corner
pushing
and
hard.
Look at this straightaway.
Yeah, the straightaway is crazy. You gotta be careful though, people playing Widowmaker, just popping their heads out real fast, clipping, giving you a nice little clip haircut. Alright, Gooshway, what you got? Primal Rage, he's in. He do be in, and now he is out. Okay, the Dallas Fuel are still kind of jostling around. Gooshway's not able to kind of pay attention to Edison right now, but the straightaway might be in their favor as Shy unleashes the overclock. Fearless falling, Edison dead, and Sparkle not long for this world. Does get booted in the air. Sparkle still finding value, but Shy still taking it to him. A couple of free meters maybe for the Dallas Fuel here as both Super Rich and Shio taking the honorable 1v1. You love to see it. Super Rich does bow this one out though, same with Shio. Somehow Sparkle comes out with 2 kills with a spawn point Rose pretty damn close for them.
Yeah,
Alright.
it is. I just it's
Continue
funny, I'm pretty
carrying on
appreciative
with this
that
game
Super
and
Rich
see,
backed off after he saw Chio
can
grab that
Dallas
top pack and
bring this
had-
back
that's cheating.
anyway.
In the,
Oh, is that
honorable,
Joe?
1v1,
Okay.
taking a health back.
That's why Super
I'm
Rich
going to say
backed
it.
off.
I'm going to be the brave one. All right, still the payload in control of the Dallas Fuel right now.
Wow,
Rose.
the
That's
Dallas
actually
are
overblocked.
actually
Sitting
pushing
on high
this
ground.
hard.
There's no way Spark peeking right now. They know he's got a charged up rail too.
Spark will not.
Dicing with death there. Just a little bit. All good though.
They still use the overclock here.
I don't think Spark have a chance in this.
Is if you use the
That
overclock
was
now,
a
you
bad.
might just see a
That was a
sweep
bad
signature
thing
from
from
Spark.
clear out from Edison.
Overclock, Shy, main focus, Alpha Yi. Nice bubble there. Coming out from Gooshway.
That was a very good bubble. Blocking their shots to the others. Okay, that was a nice clear
He's
out.
got another shot charged up.
They're
Spark
grouping
moving
up
the
there.
bot. as long as Dallas Fuel ends
Trying
up
to
just
do something with that.
making Spark
But
use ultimates,
if
they
they-
might be in a good spot. Superish put down the beat, but it only hit Teru in himself.
If they just keep the Dallas there, then that's good. Oh,
And now the ultimates are just being
there goes
flooded
the
from the
ult
Fuel.
from
They
Dallas.
know the Spark don't have support
Wow.
ultimates to back them up. Spark
wow, that was
whimpering
amazing.
right now on this point, unable to get it back to the mid.
I wonder what
And now
happened
they
there,
have points
because
again.
Superage
Wow,
definitely
that is
felt
crazy.
the need to use the sound barrier, but only hitting Teru meant that
That's
the rest of the
actually
team
crazy.
just didn't get that overhealth to be able to keep up with this fight. Dallas Fuel still invested the Primal Rage though, so you know that is an ult that's going to be off the board for them to be able to finish out this map, but I think that Kitsune Rush is a bit more important looking at the architecture of this final stretch.
You see Edison there just jump straight into the lap of
Wow.
Shy. Fearless, Fielder, Chio were all on top of him too. They know the target, they know
Sparky's
where to focus.
scared to
Sparky
go
just
for
trading
him.
places there with Teru. Final straightaway here from the Dallas Fuel. They're looking to take this one.
Wow,
3-0.
I think the
Can the
Dallas
Spark
are
stop them?
going
Shy's
to
got the
win.
overclock and he's ready to rumble.
Alright, well this is going to be the perfect time for it.
Here it is, Shy. Overclock, unleashed. Bubble goes down. Beautiful headshot on Chiu and tries to dodge out the way. But
Oh, what a useless
Edison
ult.
quick kills onto Gushway.
That was
and
honestly a
Shy.
useless ult
This is
in
the
my
first time
opinion.
we're seeing Esperanza, and this might be the first completion
That
we see as
Reaper
well.
ult wasn't
The Dallas
that
Fuel,
good.
a couple of meters to go.
The Dallas
Gushway
Fuel
had used
are
that
going to
primal rage,
win.
but his
I
health
can
bar
already tell.
dwindling, so with the
There
moment
was no
change,
point
the
in that
Spark are
Dallas
trying to end
rage.
this one.
Wow.
Edison, it ends when he says it ends. The Dallas Fuel still pretty low in terms of health bars, but Fielder and Chio topping them up from the back lines, and even Chio earning himself the beat. Then look at the Edison's positioning right now, absolute
Wow.
shat mode. But Shy ends up finishing him off. It's 4 seconds to go, and now the Spark in control of the bots have to be perfect.
And that perfection might be really difficult to achieve here, as Alpha Yi is the one that has to carry the weight and burden of that on his shoulders. The Death Blossom has to be huge. They have to be able to get that sound barrier out of Chio, so there is no response for it.
They're just giving that Kitsune Rush too. You can just layer those support ultimates. Normally it's not wise to do so, but in an overtime situation, it will end up winning you a fight. Super Rich and the rest of Spark have to play passive. They need this beat, or they need a huge Death Blossom from Alpha Yi. The beat from the Fuel pushes them forward. Kitsune Rush, so everybody from the Fuel can benefit. The burn
Oh
the
my
Beyblades
God,
working
that-
out for them, and Super Rich built up enough
that
time to
actual-
beat.
that
And
was
now the
an
Dallas
actually
Fuel with no overhealth
very
left.
good ult.
Alpha Yi struggling to find targets, but Fearless is not. Perfectly juggling Shy away from the fight as he takes him down. Gushway also falls, and that will be it. Not a full completion, but Dallas Fuel will take the dub. 3-1 over the Spark.
What a hard
Good
fought
job,
match coming
Dallas.
out here from both
Wow.
teams, but Dallas
That was
Fuel,
amazing. So, Black Knight, you were wrong on that one.
as a
The
confidence
Dallas
booster, going
have
into
won.
the rest of
Wow.
playoffs.
Number 1 seed versus
That was
the 12 beat.
amazing.
Spark, they look super competitive. A team that a few people here and there. I'm not gonna, not gonna name any names. They did have
Collapse
high hopes for
in
Spark,
chat.
just
Collapse
how
in
Shy
chat.
Played the Sojourn, of course, Gushway on his very famous Winston, but the Fuel. We heard in the rumor mill that they were looking rather scary coming into today and into this meta, into the playoffs, whatever. And they kind of proven it here. Fearless jumping back onto the Winston, didn't find too much success throughout the whole season, to be fair. It was mainly Hanbin.
Wow,
stepping
that
up
was
with,
amazing
like,
from the
MVP level
Dallas.
performances, but the Dallas Fuel more than happy to sub him out because they know they have
That
a
was
super
amazing.
solid Winston player in Fearless, and it looks like times don't change. Fearless just goal on that hero.
I mean, Hangzhou Spark did give Dallas Fuel a run for their money, though, in those first 2 maps of the series, but it was going into the 3rd map of Dorado where the tide shifted. Dallas Fuel figured out how to play against Shy's oppressive Sojourn, and that was to invest a little bit more tools, a little bit more utility, play a bit more reactionary, so when Shy had those charged shots ready to go, and also overclock.
Shy's damage jumps were absolutely absurd at the very end of it, but the Dallas Fuel banding together. taking
Wow.
down the folks at the rest of
GG,
Spark
GG.
after that. They take the series 3-1.
Good job to
Player
the
of match
Sparks. Wow.
is gonna be
That was an amazing
for
game.
this one. His
Hmm.
Kiriko, to no one's real surprise, is pretty damn good. Like we saw, obviously the clip.
Fielder
on
was
Dorado
amazing.
of him saving people, but you're nothing without your supports. You hear me, everybody? You're nothing without your supports. And fielders, Suzu's, especially when his team are going for more risky plays.
I don't even know
You saw it there. Sparkle goes to the death
how
toss,
the
hits
fuck
Suzu's in, so he can't
they
be
won like that.
focused down by the enemy team.
That was
The
just
2-0 rush kind of
amazing.
speaks for itself, and the aim too.
Wow.
Looking good.
They went to 4th game. This is our first 4th game in the whole week. So that was amazing. Everyone claps in chat for the Dallas Fuel.
Putting up some mad numbers today. Look at that. 11.5k healing per 10.
Wow.
It's the offensive assists to me that I feel like are the most impactful, looking at that 8.8.
That was honestly
Because
amazing.
that's really where you're going to see how those Suzus impact the rest of your teammates to enable their damage output, but also how the Kitsune Rush has been able to find value as well.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was kind of talking about Teru yesterday, how he's a terror on the battlefield, but
wow.
today it was
He still was.
What an actual
he
great
still
game,
was,
to be
but
honest.
It was Fielder that came out on top.
This Kiriko has been very
Dallas
good
Fuel looking
for
great.
being a
3-1
Kiriko,
in here. They're gonna
to be
advance.
honest. Wow.
Spark going down to the losers bracket. Still, we can expect big things from them. It's almost a perfect meta.
I feel bad for the Spark, but still.
Coming out of day number 1. You can
Dallas
imagine they're gonna be
on top.
The same going down to the losers bracket now. There's almost nothing that can kind of stop them. Dallas Fuel did here today, but still big things coming out from Hangzhou.
Yeah, most definitely.
We're going to jump to a quick break. Do not go anywhere. Des is going to break that one down. And then, of course, more Overwatch action after this.
Alright guys, thanks so much for watching the stream. Epic has did enjoy. If you did, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here.
No one lays a finger on your
And yeah, see you guys in the next stream. Goodbye.